The sun hung high over Ruwa, a quiet crossroads of farmland, 22 kilometers from Harare, where children's laughter usually danced across the dusty fields. But on September 16th, 1994, that ordinary morning held something far from ordinary. Mid-morning break had begun at the private Ariel School, an enclave for the city's wealthier children, when the sky seemed to shift. Silver light shimmered above the treetops, glinting unnaturally, as if the heavens themselves had cracked open. The children stopped, eyes wide, hearts racing. Some pointed, some gasped, and some simply stared, frozen by a sight that defied reason. For 15 minutes, the ordinary world faded, replaced by something alien, something impossible. Teachers remained inside, unaware, leaving the playground and its young witnesses to their encounter with the unknown. Tonight, we dive into one of the most mysterious UFO encounters the world rarely remembers, where dozens of children looked up and saw something that would haunt them for decades to come. Ruwa was little more than a crossroads in an agricultural region, a patchwork of fields and dirt roads stretching toward Harare. It was not a town, not yet, just a quiet place where farm work and small routines ruled the day. Ariel School stood apart, a private institution, expensive and refined, attended mostly by children from Harare's wealthier families. On that morning, the playground buzzed with normal chatter. The ordinary rhythm of children chasing each other kicked up dust in the sunlight. Yet the skies above southern Africa had already been restless. 2 days before, strange lights streaked across the night. Bright fireballs, strange streaks of color, and a wave of UFO reports calling attention to the heavens. ZBC Radio asked citizens to describe what they'd seen, and millions tuned in. Skeptics would later claim these lights were nothing more than a re-entry of a Zenit 2 rocket, its booster breaking apart silently across the African sky. But for those who saw it, the spectacle had primed the imagination, readying minds to witness the inexplicable. Local UFO researcher Cynthia Hind had already begun documenting sightings. Daytime glimpses of strange objects, odd figures along quiet roads, even reports from truckers of beings beside highways. Yet nothing could have prepared the children of Ariel School for what would descend upon their playground that morning. The stage was set, the witnesses ready, and the ordinary world was about to be interrupted by something wholly unexplainable. At precisely 10 a.m., the children poured into the playground, laughing and racing through games of tag, unaware of the extraordinary events about to unfold. Inside, the faculty conducted a meeting, oblivious to the unfolding drama. Then, from the clear blue sky, silver light shimmered, unnaturally bright against the morning sun. At first, it appeared as a single disc-shaped object, hovering silently above the treetops. Some children spotted smaller shapes accompanying it, floating with mechanical precision, yet making no sound. The sight lasted 15 minutes. Children pointed and shouted. Some ran in panic, while others, mostly older pupils, stood transfixed, their eyes locked on a spectacle beyond their understanding. When the craft lifted and drifted away, the children returned to their classrooms, hearts still pounding. Their stories whispered first to teachers and then to parents, were largely dismissed, seen as flights of childish imagination. By the next day, the incident had caught wider attention. Parents approached school officials, questions and concern mixing in the humid Zimbabwean air. ZBC Radio carried reports, bringing the unusual sightings to the ears of Cynthia Hind, who visited the school on September 20th. Armed with sketch pads, she began to record the children's memories in drawings, capturing glimpses of what they had seen. 3 days later, BBC correspondent Tim Leach arrived to film the children and staff, his words betraying disbelief. "I could handle war zones, but I could not handle this." The ordinary playground of Ariel School had become a stage for the extraordinary. Silver discs had descended, unseen by adults, yet etched into the minds of more than 60 children, their memories ready to endure for decades. The children described something unlike anything seen before. 1 to 4, small humanoid figures emerged from the craft, moving with an eerie, deliberate precision. Their skin seemed pale beneath black suits, and their eyes, large, reflective, almond-shaped, locked onto the children with unsettling intelligence. Some ran, but many remained, curiosity overcoming instinctive fear, as if drawn by a force that defied explanation. According to interviews conducted by Hind, Leach, and later Harvard psychiatrist John Mack, the beings seemed to communicate, not with words, but with thoughts. A telepathic message of warning, concern, and admonition. Children reported images and ideas filling their minds. The planet suffering, humans harming it, pollution and destruction looming. One 5th grader said he was warned about something that's going to happen, while an 11-year-old girl recalled, "I think they want people to know that we're actually making harm on this world, and we mustn't get too technologed." Yet not all children interpreted them as extraterrestrial. Some saw Tikoloshis, figures from Shona and Debele folklore, small tricksters or spirits emerging from the brush. Despite cultural differences, the descriptions aligned. Black-suited, wide-eyed, silent, yet intelligent. Drawings captured by Hind show craft, figures, and even the environment as the children perceived it. Details repeated independently across dozens of accounts. For those who saw them, the experience was unmistakable. Ordinary rules of physics, of reason, seemed suspended. Beings that did not belong to the known world had touched their lives, leaving impressions of wonder, fear, and awe. These children were witnesses, not just to a craft, but to something alive, intelligent, and profoundly otherworldly. Skeptics have suggested many mundane explanations. Brian Dunning proposed mass hysteria, while others speculated a simple prank. In 2023, a former student named Dylan claimed he told classmates that a shiny rock in the distance was a UFO, never expecting a widespread reaction. Some researchers suggested dust devils, or even touring puppet shows designed to promote AIDS awareness, might explain the sightings. Investigations revealed complexity. Hind interviewed children in small groups, sometimes cross-contaminating stories. Mack arrived 2 months later, and critics note that his environmentalist beliefs may have influenced reports of telepathic messages. Yet despite these variables, many children remain adamant decades later that they saw something real. Emily Trim, now an artist, has exhibited paintings she describes as manifestations of messages received that day. Others, including pupils interviewed for the Netflix documentary Encounters, recall lights descending from the sky and alien figures approaching. The incident also gained limited but impactful media attention. Tim Leach documented interviews for the BBC. Cynthia Hind recorded drawings, and local parents testified to their children's fear and fascination. The Ariel School UFO sighting quickly became one of Africa's most cited extraterrestrial cases, recognized by UFOologists as a compelling example of potential alien visitation. And yet the story resists closure. Skepticism meets enduring witness testimony. Evidence is largely anecdotal, yet consistent. The mystery lingers, refusing to be neatly filed under explanation or dismissal, leaving a tension that has persisted for decades. Over 30 years later, the Ariel School incident remains haunting. The children, now adults, carry memories that still flicker in their minds. A bright light, strange figures, the sensation of minds touching minds. Psychologically, the event left impressions of awe and fear, the kind of formative memory that shapes one's understanding of reality. Globally, the story remains relatively obscure. UFO lore tends to favor Western cases, leaving the Ariel School encounter underreported, despite its mass witness nature and the compelling consistency of accounts. Yet within Africa, it is remembered as a singular moment when the ordinary intersected with the impossible. Questions remain unanswered. Who were the beings? Were they extraterrestrial visitors, unknown natural phenomena, or something entirely beyond human understanding? Why that place, at that time? And why children as primary witnesses? Each answer raises another question, a deeper layer of mystery. Perhaps the most haunting aspect is the evidence of persistence. Drawings, interviews, documentaries, and the personal memories of those who insist that what they saw was real. It challenges our perception of reality, forcing us to ask, what else in our world escapes notice, waiting to reveal itself to those willing, or perhaps destined to see? The Ariel School incident is more than a UFO story. It is a reminder that the world may be far stranger than we allow ourselves to believe. The children of Ariel School looked up on an ordinary morning and saw something extraordinary. Silver discs hovered, beings approached, and minds seemed to brush against minds in a fleeting 15-minute encounter that would echo through decades. Skeptics offer explanations: pranks, dust devils, mass hysteria, but the witnesses remain resolute. They saw something that defies reason. The story lingers in our collective imagination because it challenges what we know, inviting us to consider the impossible. It is a tale of wonder, fear, and the unknowable, reminding us that the universe may hold more than our senses can comprehend. If you felt the chill of this story, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys from the unknown. And as always, don't forget to look beyond the fog.